should be good. Shalom Akim, Wak Akwaf. First and foremost, before we start, we want to give all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. The ones to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone who were well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the whole tabernacle of David that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom, Warpakathum. And hey, we just gonna get right into it. All right, as you can see, the title of the lesson, Babylon will be conflagrated. All right, if you understand that term, which we gonna have a brother, look it up. All right, it's pretty much the fate, all right, the end result of Babylon the Great, aka America. Due to its sinful nature, its total rebellion against the Most High. All right, due to the bloodshed of the saints that was shed here. I mean, this place got so much to answer for. And then, you're seeing just, the behavior, the moral decay is just waxing worse and worse every day. And that's the reason why the Lord said that, before he actually destroyed this place, he's going to lift up the skirts and expose it first. And that's what you're seeing. The nation seeing the shame and nakedness of Babylon. Somebody, matter of fact, if somebody can get, I think it's Nahum 3 and start at like verse 4.
Yeah, this Nahum 3 and verse 4, and it reads, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts.
The mistress of witchcrafts. One of the specialties of Babylon is, it's enchantments, it's sorcery. And the world, being intrigued by, the imagery and the luxury, the lifestyle, the ideology of this place. It's all centered by witchcraft, left hand, the left hand side. All right, and they get sucked into this lifestyle. Scriptures talk about Babylon being a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and it made all of the nations of the earth to be drunken. That's what they, when they, come into that whole Western ideology, that whole Western way, they start bugging out. Feminism, and you think of like the women in the Middle East are supposed to know better. They grew up in the Islamic culture, Islamic religion, so they're taught to be covered up, modest, to obey their husbands and whatnot. But the westernized ones, do you see that same behavior? No. They're proud just like the American woman.
Yeah. And they have a power which is the same with any American woman. Call 911, send them in, get in for things that are commonplace over there. They'll throw your man in jail and lynch him damn near over here.
That's why you don't see American women seeking abroad to get husbands, because a lot of places have their traditional values, and those men from those different countries, they're not putting up with no American woman shit.
They can't get away with the stuff they
get
away from here.
The system supports, the American system supports degeneracy over here.
Yeah.
Not just in women, but in general.
They support adultery.
I want to make this I just want to make a quick point about this place. We forget, because when we were born, TV was already rolling, like there was already stuff on TV. But before, there was no real link to the rest of the world, but through these movies in the 20s and 30s and 40s, and then eventually into TV and radio. But they didn't know the mentality that was going on over here unless you actually came over here. So they were all right. Now that this internet is out, you can see different cultures in 2023 all over the world. So they're looking at America and being entertained by it, watching Housewives and dumb shit like that. And what do you get? Now you got these women over there that ain't never stepped foot over here acting like that. But everybody can see that this is the place causing all the problems. That all of this is understood on a different level, and this is a degenerate way that's gonna destroy the whole earth and all the people in it if it continues to go on forever. Right. But the people here don't understand it.
Yeah. And that's why these other nations, they don't want no parts of the West. Every once in a while, they'll come out and they'll voice their their disapproval of American democracy and the LGBT whole like that's like one of the main things that they blast America about. Like we're not gonna have those type of corruptible ideologies teaching our children. We over here we still have our families intact. We're gonna raise our children the right way. We're not gonna teach them to gender confusion. We're not gonna confuse our children. So those type of things is adding to how this society is being despised among the rest of the people. There's a reason why they're starting to like when Putin makes speeches, Vladimir Putin, and he blasts America, them other countries, they feel like as though he's speaking for them too.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
he's in position to speak for them.
He's in position.
And the other ones that's on the fence, they're paying close attention too.
Yeah.
Even the ones that we say are allies of America, they're watching. They're looking at. They're seeing who has power, who's gaining power, who's gaining the ear of the people.
Two key points, and we can get back to that scripture. And the second one that leads to it. One is those BRICS nations are starting to. The different countries of the world starting to align themselves against this place, economically, right, and within world economics and in war type array, right. The other one is it said the well-favored harlot in that scripture, right, and this place has been almost protected by the Most High because it has to fulfill a set of evils within it, but how much more could possibly continue before something big has to happen to correct this shit? Like this is getting not out of control for the Most High, but the minds of the people just let's go further. Just want to just keep going further down the rabbit hole. This place ends in the damn pit of Hades, man. This place don't end nowhere good, but that's the title, right? It's only in that this place can go in the direction it's going. Read that again.
As back in Nahum 3. I'll start doing this work because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, now with this internet out, the whole world can see this place is shit. You see, because before nobody would know what happened to Nord Stream Pipeline 2. No one would know. But now with this internet out,
that would be like back in the day. That would be news. You would hear that news like 3 weeks, a month later in a newspaper.
Right. And
nobody
would catch it. Nobody would be sure. Now it's sure because you can line up these news articles and what these people are saying and go back over it in slow motion.
Well, what's the scripture say? Knowledge shall be increased.
That's right.
They just had Mexico president came out last week and said America suffering from war with the people.
Exactly.
This is Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico is dangerous as hell, man. Goddamn cartels and shit, murder everywhere.
They said this place works.
Oh man.
Well, that's because America carries itself like it's all the other nations know that America calls the shots.
Yeah.
So if you're calling the shots, you're the queen bee, right? But look at yourself.
Yeah.
You're telling everybody what they need to do and how they need to run their business. But you all messed up.
Screwed up.
It's being revealed.
You got problems.
Like a harlot.
Right.
So
they get these nations get to see how just dysfunctional Babylon really is. Your government is your president is a joke.
Yeah.
He doesn't have all his faculties running right.
Government's divided.
The government is divided.
People are divided.
Yeah, you're about to default soon.
Extended the debt ceiling again, I think. Was that what it
Well, that was passed through the House. Usually go to the Senate.
Yeah.
In the Senate, that's where all the bullshit's going on.
Yeah, they're divided on that. And you got, this trans thing is just out of freaking control.
Yeah.
Right? And the world's paying attention.
Salakia, in that Nineveh, you always get into Sardanapalus.
Yeah.
When he's like it was the emperor.
He was one of the last emperors over the king of Assyria.
Yeah.
And he used to, one of the things he did was he used to put on women's clothing.
Oh, yeah.
He was cross-dressing, you know. And you see what they're doing now. They got little trans demons teaching little 7-year-olds how to dance for cash tips.
Yeah, normalize it.
Yeah, no, it's normal. You got, you know, this whole woke thing. People, they call it woke. You know, so now, you know, rebellion is pretty much the new, you know, you're awoke if you rebel. That's the vibration here in Babylon the Great. You wonder why the Lord is quiet in the heavens, and like the scriptures say, the Lord he's slow to anger, but he's great in power, and will not at all equip the wicked. The Lord just building this up for you. He's just building it up. His eyes are upon this sinful kingdom, and he's getting ready to level it off the face of the planet.
That's why you see a whole lot of so-called UFOs, you know, being over America, man.
Yeah.
Which are the chariots, which are the eyes of the Lord, the angels. You know?
That's right.
I think you go to Revelation, which you just stated. It says how she should be remembered by iniquities, because daily you got the angels constantly reporting, you know, the evil deeds going on within America. Then you got the Most High's ground truth to be the righteous prophets. We constantly send out those prayers. So that's how the Lord continue to allow America's sins to, you know, just like continue to stack up. You know what I'm saying? So how about Shem Shaka be totally justified destroying this place? You know?
Right. That's right. Yeah. So that's why, see, the scriptures say, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding." See, spiritually, yeah, we're agitated by all this wickedness, just like Lot was. You know, we're vexed, but at the same time, we understand that the Most High, he's the one in control. The Lord is building a case for this place. You know, we have to endure it, but we already know how this is going to end. All we got to do is just, you know, do what we're supposed to do in the eyes of the Lord and prophesy against this place. Everything else is going to follow suit. You know, we see these moles and all these proud people, and it seems like they're just prospering, and you know they're receiving rewards for their wickedness, their rebellion. You know, you got a new thing called trans handicap. You can identify to be handicapped now. Like, it's just getting out of just totally out of control. It's just getting out of control, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse.
Yeah, this is a freak show.
It's a freak show.
So you get it like a handicap sticker or something?
Bro, yeah, like you can get the handicap placard. Yeah. And I'm waiting to see if they're going, like, if somebody chooses to identify as handicapped, or somebody is actually handicapped, and that person want to show interest in you, and you be like, nah, you turn them down. Oh, you trans handy phobic. That's a new word. Trans handy phobic. You know, like you could just picture that. That's how silly it is, man.
Bro, you don't see no, like, I know there's women out there that are trying to become man, but like they really trying to go into men's restrooms and all that. It's man trying to go in women's restrooms, and it's mostly men in these schools dressing up as women, dancing for these little kids. These men are sick, bro.
Sick.
You know, everybody's sick in this place.
What's that in Isaiah 19? Where the Lord said he will mingle a
Perverse spirit. Yeah,
that's
Miss Egypt.
completely perverse. And you have that dyke, Brittany, what's her name? Brittany Griner.
I don't know which one that is, bro. I'm confused.
Griner, whatever. Yeah.
I don't know.
She was recently basically trying to champion for trans women, you know, to
be in women's
to be in women's sports.
The last thing she wanted was a dude in the NBA.
See, they stood behind this chick, and they was like, yeah, let her go, let her free, and they pretty much celebrated her being free, only for her to come back and say that shit.
She's been promoted. You know, she's a spokesperson.
Yeah.
That was part of the deal.
Yeah.
You get it out.
Yeah.
Anything that any type of agenda we push, you have to be for it, or you know,
You gotta do both.
Right.
send your ass back, or, you know, put your ass to death.
Right. And I don't want to hear nothing from you women. Y'all, yeah. We don't want to hear nothing from you women,
You
man.
did that. You did
All
that.
these liberals is for that shit until they're faced with that situation.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and you could, like, brothers that got daughters, you know, or they can. You got a daughter and some big old buff niggas in the locker room with her or playing sports with her. Yo, they're not. You're not gonna go for that shit. And a lot of these people, they don't realize that until it's at they front door and they're like, damn, I'm dealing with it.
Mhm.
It's, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What did Dave Chappelle? Just an easy one to go with. He said LeBron James was in the WNBA. What happened? Y'all don't want that. Y'all really. He said, or you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because trust me, that you don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
These junior varsity as high school players will dominate your league
Yeah.
of professional women.
Yeah.
In any sport.
Right.
They're breaking records now.
Chicks getting their skulls broke.
Broken in, bro. About average ass dudes, man.
Yeah.
Not even the best.
Nah, average, man.
Mhm.
So I mean, but that's the mentality, and you guys are still. You don't see that can become a problem.
Yeah.
There were women talking about. I saw one of these videos, whatever. Women talking about. Fathers and their daughters talking about when this person came over. I was trained hard. I'm the best.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Until this guy shows up.
Mhm.
Now my records are forgotten.
Right.
He obliterated my records and everything. I think she was a power lifter or some shit.
Yeah. One
And
dude.
they was like a wrestler on the mat. I watched some shit fling this chick around like a little rag doll. Wasn't even swole.
See?
But that you have to be perverse and have a sick mind
Yeah.
to allow that to go on.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody found that? Yeah.
Just Isaiah 19 verse 14. The Lord Yahweh begat a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit.
Yeah. That perverse spirit, man. That spirit of just that confused, bugged out, state. And these people don't realize that the more they're headed in this direction, the more they're self-destructing. The society is in self-destruct mode. They don't even see it. Like with somebody that's intoxicated, they're so out of it that they don't even know how jacked up they are. You just going, you staggering, and you don't know where you at,
There's no sense of judgment
at all.
between wickedness and righteousness.
And every decision you making is just further causing self-deterioration. So you're gonna teach all the. So you even got in certain schools, if you teach your children the natural order, the natural divine order, male or female, you can get in trouble.
Well, I think
CPS can come take your
that
children.
just happened to a Muslim child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get in trouble, man.
When they talk about jail time in California, for having the Bible.
For having for the scripture, just for bringing the scriptures up.
In Canada, you can be fined, I believe, $25,000 if you say anything about, the whole LGBT community. Say anything, opposed to, their whatever.
It was one too where they said if you say anything or mispronoun or misgender anybody, you get fined too.
You can make an honest mistake, like like remember the guy at GameStop?
Yeah.
Kept saying sir. Kept calling him sir.
He was scared though.
Yeah.
He was scared of that big ass dude.
Yeah. You see, going back, like the Most High, all this behavior, the Lord is just allowing it to pile up. That's all that's happening. The Lord He wants these people to continue to rebel, blaspheme. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're just running up your tab for when the Lord finally destroy this place. All these people, when that moment finally comes, like it tells you in the Apocrypha, your sins are going to be your own accusers in that day.
Right.
Okay, that's just what it is. The Lord's gonna judge you. Okay. Was it? I think it's in Revelation 17 where it says it calls Babylon mother of harlots, abominations of the earth.
Yeah.
Abominations of the earth. Matter of fact, we still in Nahum.
Yeah.
Finish that in Nahum and then get that.
And this is back in Nahum 3 and verse 6. It's like I'm reading 5 again, verse 6. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts on thy face, and I will show the naked, it's like, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Yeah. So you're just gonna be known for your vileness. You know, just that's a freaking cesspool over there.
Yeah.
The people over there, they're sexually immoral, disease ridden, overweight, obese.
Yeah.
You know, no self-control.
Hey, when we go into the book of Ezekiel 16, and it speaks about the sins of Sodom, hey, well, those are the same sins,
Right.
hey, that America have, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is one was what?
fullness of bread,
Idleness.
Pride.
pride.
That's the first one.
Yeah,
Pride. And what's their
yeah,
pride?
Yep.
The fear of proud of Marine.
Right.
Yeah, come.
Right. Yeah, man. So go to that in Revelation 17 is about mystery Babylon.
There's Revelation 17. I started at 4.
Good.
And it reads, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls.
And it's like you, but it's funny, scarlet, right?
Mhm.
What color is scarlet? It's close to crimson. What
Yeah,
color is
red,
crimson? It's
Red.
a derivative of red.
Yep.
Who's the red people? You have to bring them because the red is generally like a warning. You have to pay attention to it. Right. It's something that you can't ignore. That color is an odd color. It's not really. It's not easily found in nature.
I think women wear red lipstick.
It's for
No, the
attention.
touch is noticeable. Yes, attention.
You know, so this place is like that, man. It's getting all this attention, but not for good and honest things. For some of the worst things ever on the planet. That's what it's known for. You got it, bro.
All right, continuing. And precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand.
See, that's what she looked like.
Yeah.
She her appearance, she
From the outside.
has appeal to the other nations. But then once the nations start to actually partake,
Yeah.
they start to see that this is not what
Yeah.
basically all the nations got catfished.
Yeah.
The nations got catfished by Babylon.
And when they
Yeah.
and as the shame begins to come out, the nations you're seeing her begin to separate from this place. Like, hey, I didn't sign, like he said, I didn't sign up for this shit. You know, it
Man.
was cool at once, but you going overboard,
You
man.
robbing niggas.
Yeah.
You ever been those? You think about it like she's a real harlot, man. She robbing people for their wallets and watches and shit, their money, not performing the deals, not doing the acts. She do a few of them, but she's super nasty with them.
Yeah.
She got,
Cardi B and niggas and shit.
bro,
man.
I was gonna go dirty with it, but this is swords and all kinds of shit on this nasty ass discharge, all kind of shit with this nasty ass woman over here, man.
Yeah.
Just the worst of the worst. Still, but on the outside, she look good to y'all.
Right.
All made up and dolled up, hair done up, you know? Until you get in bed with her, and you like, oh, I effed up.
Instagram versus reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Catfish.
When they do the real what they really look like, then they do the made up face.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty much that.
Before and after picture.
Yeah, you know, when the men are exposing what they women really look
Yeah.
like, they show them all bomb looking with all the
Yeah.
makeup, and then they show them real life.
Filters.
All the filters and shit. You got it, bro.
And having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness.
Full of abominations and filthiness. I will make thee vile, a gazing stock. You know, that's all this, you know, what we're seeing, man. The perverseness that continually goes on here, man. That's why the scriptures say, arise and depart, for this is not your rest, for it is greatly polluted. It will destroy you with a sword of destruction. All right, is like, and you wonder why the Lord normally plagues Babylon with these deadly diseases, you know, because it's filthy here.
Right.
Anywhere where it's unclean and unsanitized and filthy, it's gonna be disease. Yeah.
And some of the places that's so glorified here, you can walk down the streets of this place, man. You would scared to sit down.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want the bottom of your shoes touched.
But like the media and TV had given this place that image. Like you think of America, New York, and Times Square, Hollywood, and the beach, Venice Beach. It ain't nothing like that. They have those places, but a lot of them places is still fucked up. You know, you go right around the corner in Manhattan where you get robbed and killed. You know, niggas are getting, you get killed in Hollywood or somewhere. So
Venice Beach,
in
the tent city down there.
Right
on the beach.
But the world gets that even this place, Vegas.
Yep.
You know, you think you see the strip. Other than the strip, this place is.
You go behind the casino.
Right.
A bunch of ghouls.
Night crawlers.
People
really living, what they call them, holes?
No, people literally living under the strip, under the ground.
Holes.
Yeah.
I got a person.
Yeah, they got their own language and everything.
Continuing, it says, a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
There it is. Mother of harlots, abominations of the earth. Which, you know, there was a lesson that the Apostle Ramla went into years ago. He broke it down. You break down that verse, the numeric value of that verse, it all adds up to 600, 666, man. You know? So yeah, this place, you see why the Lord's gonna do what he's gonna do to it. All right. You know, what are some of the abominations of this place? We were just talking about a few of them. One of them was in the law, Deuteronomy 22. A woman
cross-dressing.
Get it real quick.
22 and 5.
That's one abomination. Deuteronomy 22 and 5.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy power.
Mm-hmm. They that do so are what? An abomination.
Yeah, this brother I had the brother pull the word abomination just so we can define it right quick.
Abomination, or something like that. Early 14th century. Abominable thing or action. A feeling of disgust, hatred, loathing, abomination, horror, repugnant, disgust, abomination, action or past particle stem, abominari, shun as an ill omen.
Yep. This place.
In biblical use, often that which is ceremonially impure. The meaning was intensified by folk etymology, derivation from Latin, hominin, away, from man, away from man, thus beastly.
Yes, and the difference between man and beast is the wisdom the Most High gave man on earth.
Yeah.
Well, this place acts like beast, like natural brute beast over here.
I got a quick one. Sirach 15 and 13. The Lord hateth all abomination, and they that fear Yahweh love it not.
And that's why we like all this happening over here, because we know it's only kindling the fire even more to burn this place to the ground.
How the brothers going to about the beastly, you think about Esau, his nature, where it says that he was more subtle than any beast in the field. You know, it goes to how he's very artful and crafty in his deception. He creates this type of allure to get these other nations being enchanted by it, you know. Everybody been falling pretty much drunken up or spiritually intoxicated by that Babylonian wine.
He's a fornicator. What's that scripture? Profane. You know, so it's natural. He's not. It comes natural for Eve to carry out this kind of behavior. But him being in the power seat now, he's pushing on everybody else.
Yeah. I got real quick to back you up. This is Psalms 12:8. It says, "The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted."
Right.
And
Wow.
Job said they were more viler than the earth.
Bro.
Well, that man, that vile beast, he's in power. So of course the world is going to be under his vibration. They pushing for zoophilia rights in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be able to marry their beast in peace.
They want to be acknowledged for it and championed for it.
Yeah, because before it was they did something like that. It was something that was done, you know, on a low or whatever. But now they're being proud about it. They ask me about it.
You see that whole LG I'm gonna call it the abominable acronym. You can attach all that perverseness onto that acronym.
That's right. There's somebody into that bullshit.
Yeah. You got professors making cases for why being attracted to young,
what they call them maps.
Yeah.
minor attracted persons.
Yeah.
So they got studies on that.
And you still have a NAMBLA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's government. That's a government funded program, by the way, as well, for organizations like this.
Yeah. See, if they was to finally come through with laws to protect that, at that point it's nowhere to it's a point of no return when it gets to that point where your child, if a grown freaking individual is attracted to your child, but that person is protected by the law, bruh.
Pretty much twisting your arm that you gotta
Bro,
let them partake with your child.
yeah, it gets to that. See, but going back to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep.
Sodom and Gomorrah, it talks about how the cries of Sodom, it said that the sins of Sodom cry to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
When you got these alphabet people out there marching and voicing their, you know, they're trying to be heard, and you know they have a voice and they have platforms. That's pretty much like the voice of Sodom, the sin of their. Somebody find it, but man. I think it's in Genesis. I want to say the 15th chapter. It talks about the sins of Sodom cry.
18:20 is a quarter. The cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Okay. This Genesis, starting verse 19. Genesis 18, verse 19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they should keep the way of the Lord Yahweh to do justice and judgment, that the Lord Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And the Lord Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous.
The sin is the cry of it is great. I mean, it is so flagrant, it's so blatant, it's so in your face. The people back then in that society, they had no shame, just like today. No shame. It was just out in the open. It was just it was the norm. 2 men, 2 women, that's normal. You know, so their sins it was just crying out. It's begging for the Lord's judgment. When these people go out there and they do what they do, they're begging for the Lord's judgment. They're begging for destruction. And the Lord gonna give it to them. That's why this place is gonna get. y'all see the title. All right. And we're gonna look up that term Sodom, by the way. All right. So I don't know if you got something.
Isaiah 3:9. The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not.
They hide it not. It's out there.
Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Like you said, the Most High gonna give them what they asking for. And I had looked up that word declare just on Google, and it says to say something. Well, I'm gonna go to the synonym or the similar words. It says to proclaim, to announce, to publicize, to publish. Yeah, you know, they making it known. Like when it comes to these alphabet people, they don't just do what they do, but they make it known. You know, they real flagrant with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because
It's all in your ads. Like when you're on YouTube and you gotta let an ad play for like 15 seconds,
You can't skip it.
you can't skip it. You gotta watch it. It's usually some flagrant shit.
Yeah, don't watch Hulu or
Come on,
Netflix.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the joke that Sebastian Maniscalco said, comedian, right? He said, before people would just be in their basement wigging out, you know, growling and shit or whatever. But now they just go right on the internet. Now 387 people all want to do the same dumb shit, you know. And now that it's out there, now you got to deal with conventions for it. Now people are like, oh, I want to see what now it's publicized, and now curious people want to see what it is. People with an itching for something wicked want to see what it is, and you know.
Bro, at one point you had to be quote unquote in the closet about being with that. Right. Now you got to be in the closet about being against it.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And how fast did that happen? That's what blows my mind. The speed at which that flip flop so dramatically.
Yeah.
Well, this brother had more though. I don't know if you're still over there.
We got the article too.
I just making Genesis 18.
Because it's important to hear the rest of what the Most High says after that.
Genesis 18:21. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is coming to me, and if not, I will know.
And here's the difference. Everybody's about to get it, man, but the elect. Everybody about to get it but the elect. Everybody else is guilty, man, but the elect. Okay? Yeah. And we understand what I mean when I say that, you know. We're getting mercy. The elect will get mercy. Okay? But the rest of y'all don't deserve mercy.
Yeah, Lot pretty much represented the elect.
Yep.
You know?
All right, verse 22. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, and Abraham stood yet before the Lord Yahweh. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous with the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
Now, we don't have to go through that whole part. That's good. But, hey, is there at least 50? Will you spare it for 50 people? We'll eventually have the angels snatch them out of there. Man, hell, ain't nobody else in here. You it. Get out. You know? And that's it. The elect is it, man. The elect are already mentally getting in the place that they need to be to escape this place. All right? Everybody else is just going further and further into abomination, man.
Yep.
They turn their face from thee and towards Sodom.
Yeah, and when you read in I want to say either the 14th or the 15th chapter, there was a reason why we didn't continue to Abraham, when he was just Abram, he passed through the land, but he didn't get to dwell fully in the land, because the Lord basically told him the iniquity of the Amorites hasn't been fulfilled yet. He was referring to these Canaanites that dwelt in these lands. Sodom in particular was one of the lands, and it was just a safe haven for all iniquity.
Yeah.
Where, you know, scriptures talk about before we went into the land of Canaan, it was a lot of child sacrifice, a lot of rituals being done, idolatry, incest, you know, all these different perverse, immoral things. The same things that we see predominant in this Western world today.
These were all customs of the heathens, but our people, Israelites, have taken on to them as you know, as their own customs, and the shit they the scripture brother just read it. I'll do the deeds of the wicked. That's the one you read?
Yeah.
Well, they declare the sin beside him, but that's talking about Jake too.
I appreciate it. There's Ezekiel 11, and I'll start here at 20. Because it's showing forth the separation. And it says, that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power. But as for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable and their abomination, but as for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense their way upon their own head, saith the Lord Yahweh.
You're getting what you asked for. You want to fuck around and find out? This is what it is. Most High don't give it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, Most High just letting it pile up. Let it pile up.
He's willing to show his wrath in great power, man. He make his power known. Hey, you guys don't respect me as you should, man. So I'm gonna show you what it's really about. I'm not gonna see the cold part. Like, I don't know why people don't think flooding the earth wasn't bad. So all right, let me say what fire is like then.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the message.
Yeah, kind of. That's why in Revelation it says, for our sins have reached into heaven, and the Most High remember their iniquities. It's like Yahweh Shem Shah is a cap, and once it hits that level, he's like, oh, it's done, man. Just send fire upon the place.
No, this is enough to piss me off to where I can really get busy now. Yeah.
No, real quick. Joel 3. Oh, that was a spirit.
Yeah.
Joel 3:13. Put you in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great.
Yeah. I got one.
Oh, 2 Ezra 15.
I was doing it right now. That's all I'm doing right now.
You got it.
Whoever can get it.
I got it.
Yeah.
2 Ezra 15 is 1. Behold, thou speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I shall put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, nor the incredulity of them that trouble thee, that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled.
That's what he said last time. And that Noah like it. Water, right now, blew my mind when you think about Sodom and Gomorrah. That was after the flood. So I mean, like, people of the earth is hard headed, man. Particularly Jake too, man. I mean, we understand the bigger picture, but still, man, how are you not afraid of this?
I looked up the word polluted, and it says ceremonially unclean, profane, rendered impure or unclean, meaning drunk. We go into the wine of Babylon. Polluted, to defile, violate the sanity of, render ceremonially unclean. So this place is completely just overwhelmed with this wickedness.
Filth.
Yeah.
That's why you go to Isaiah, goes into marriage the hammer of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Which go to the word goes into a devastator. How they morally corrupt these other nations.
And that's bigger devastation than the war. Because peaceful countries are getting devastated by the ideologies of this place.
I got an article. This is an article via thepeoplevoice.tv. It says California begins arresting parents who oppose child sex surgery. California has announced plans to begin arresting and imprisoning parents who dare to question child sex surgery.
Wait, so children can choose. This is oh my God. What's the benefit of that? What's the benefit of having children to have the surgery? Like
So so in their minds, a child brain is developed enough to be able to make that kind of decision.
Science,
But if I buy that same child a beer
right,
or some yayan,
It's
Right.
child abuse.
That's child abuse.
Yeah, come take it.
At the age of 4, by the way. Continuing on, it says, written by Senator Anthony Portantino, will quote unquote address the issue of teachers facing harassment and aims to provide a safe and inclusive environment for all students and teachers. It will do so by abolishing the First Amendment rights for people who oppose radical transformer ideology.
I don't think you people heard that. It's going to abolish the First Amendment rights. You can't speak against it. You can't get no more freedom of speech. And you know the problem? The Bible, because it's right. So even though it's the Bible, no freedom of speech is how they get rid of that.
Hey, but this is only going to cause even more division in America because there's other states that are banning these people, you know? They're like, nah, we ain't with this.
They put them to death.
You know?
What state was that? I think it was Tennessee. Tennessee, they had a law that bans drag hour.
Florida too, I believe.
In Florida, and then just weeks after they passed that law, then you had that shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, real.
And then you got these activists. They're pretty much justifying and trying to radicalize the movement.
Yeah.
You know, basically putting it in their hearts like, well, yeah, we've been back into a corner. We've been discriminated. So, you know, it's justified. We need to arm ourselves, and we need to, you know, basically they're trying to start an insurrection. So just imagine that, an insurrection of these freaks versus the Christian conservatives.
Right.
The Bible Belt gun totally.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's same amendment. Yeah.
There was a Edomite who went viral because he was like trying to be a woman or something, you know, so a freak. And he was like basically saying like they need to arm up and saying like I dare somebody try to stop me from going into the woman's restroom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
Hey, and you know that this, I mean, you still
Go
have
ahead,
another
bro.
point.
Yeah, good.
Now, just because I'm changing a little bit, but it's a sorcery, man. It's not a coincidence that these same people have caught on to this agenda, has caught on to that agenda as well.
Yeah.
Of these shootings.
And you say the sorcery part is almost like when Jake was brought here and they just beat like Christianity into it. It's like it shit is so much in your face. It's gonna beat it into Jake's head where they just gonna accept it. Like, all right, man, shit, use a bathroom or you know whatever the agenda is that they're trying to push. Jake's just gonna comply to it.
Well, they did it with the whole Mo agenda. Because at one point in time, Jake knew that shit was wrong, and you had to keep it a secret. Jake found out about it, they didn't want to be around you, or they beat the shit out of you. But now, Jake, they like, well, as long as, you know what I'm saying,
the whole same brother as Jake, too.
Yeah. You know? Just don't bring it towards me type spirit. Like, look, nigga, either you with it or you against it. You know?
I'm not the one to judge.
Well, I think people should do whoever they want to be, all because they happy or some shit. Niggas say all the time,
but shit, bro. Like that ain't how you was raised. You know?
But a lot of that witchcraft.
Yeah. And then would it make people want? They see that there's benefits, not just the same rights, but now it's privileges to being in that. Like the brother said, if you sick mentally, but now you can go to the room with girls.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Women's Day. We know the guy that just went to prison as a woman and then raped all a bunch of women in there, COs and shit or whatever he did.
Shit, raped them. It was probably.
Yeah, probably half.
Didn't he get some of them pregnant?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. You know, like this is crazy. What are they gonna call it? Pandora's box, man. It's opening this shit to a world of extra wickedness. You know
And it's. Go ahead, bro, because I was going to bring up some.
No, what I was going to say was like how crafty this devil was to, you know, force feed it to our people.
Yeah.
He made sure to attach it and make it appealing to Jake. Because Jake, you know, they need something that they can relate to. So when you go back to the civil rights era,
Yep.
the pioneer of that movement, he was a mogul,
Yeah.
very arrested.
Yep.
And a lot of people didn't know that whole movement, what was the shadow of that movement was the gay agenda.
Yeah. And they
So-
made it look like it was. Look how it's like the correlation to it was they used women's liberation because they knew women outnumbered, so they would have them voting
Yeah,
this other shit in, and so they're the emotional ones that's attaching to it.
they pretty much tried to compare
Yep.
what we went through here as a people, the
Yep.
discrimination,
Yep.
the abuse,
Yep.
Social justice.
social injustice. Well, these people, they experience the same thing. So y'all got one thing in common. Y'all got a few things in common. So why don't y'all join forces together?
Mhm.
And the rest was hit. And of course, who was at the forefront? Who was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Fucking Eve.
Yep. Women, because they just got their rights.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't believe it, and I went back and watched it. Everybody loved Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones, but his closing was better. Like the information he was dropping on it. He said, I'm just jealous of how well your movement's going.
Mm.
Because we're in the same, have the same issues, but how are you getting so far advanced? But I'm still
Right.
stuck, but we're still on the bottom.
Right.
You guys said, because I think white men are in that other movement. So he was pointing out key little things but the way he said it was so slick, where I thought it was better. But we all know it was never about us. It was about springboarding off of our pain and history to forward their movement.
Mm-hmm.
That's
As
the
you
same.
said, their main guy.
Same as Black Lives
Yeah, I
Matter.
said same
Yep.
thing.
Same as Black Lives
But that got
Matter.
exposed, but still,
Mhm.
That
Jake,
was never meant to go
yeah,
super far.
yeah. But they try to attach that trans shit to that, the BLM shit.
You see the new colors on the flag too. And we see what they do.
Black and brown on
Yep.
here.
I have something. Oh, you read yours about this stuff?
No, go ahead, bro.
But but with this brother bringing that article, the
Yeah.
key thing about the article was it's not because of the prophecy or anything else that's in the Bible, the 10 Commandments and the dietary laws. It's about because it's an anti-alphabet movement book. That's that has those
Yeah.
tones in it, if you will.
Mhm.
That's what it's about. That's why it's being banned. Not for any other reason, but for that reason. That's the reason they're saying it's got to be banned. Any anti-literature.
Yeah.
They don't want nothing speaking against
They're
it.
taking books out of, in Florida, I did a lesson. They took certain books out of the libraries that had that type of shit in it. Like, talking about 2 men and 2 women.
Mhm.
They took the shit out. They took it, removed it from the library. So
But isn't Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer and them books like that still in there with the N word in there?
Mhm. Yeah.
You see?
but some counties and places in Florida are opposed
Yep.
to that. So that's dividing this country even more.
And we know a place divided against itself can't stand.
Right.
It's got to go down. You got it, bro.
Real quick, there's Isaiah 29 and starting at 20. It says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught." So when you speak righteousness, you dare to speak up and stand up for what's right, what's going back to the Lord's his ways. You make your, like it says in Isaiah 59, he that renounce evil maketh himself a prey. So you stand up for the divine order, that the natural order that the Most High set up, you make yourself a target. Now you become a criminal. It's not a crime to defend the natural order of the Most High.
Right.
This is why the Lord said, "Woe to you that strive with his maker." This is open, high-level rebellion here. No wonder why the Lord nicknamed this place Marathiam, which means double rebellion. All right, but Sodom and Gomorrah rebelled. All right, all these different kingdoms that lived after this manner, they rebelled. Hell, the Tower of Babel was rebellion. What did the Lord do? So going, somebody could get that in Jude 7 and second. Somebody can get 2 Peter 2.
Jude is Jude verse 7. It says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, because it wasn't just 2 cities, or one, it was 5
altogether. Yeah.
Right. It says, in manner giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
It was left as an example.
Yeah. It's going to say beautifully in Peter.
These are everlasting receipts, evidence of what the Lord will do to you when you rebel. When it just gets too out of hand, this is what the Lord will do. The Lord set that example and left evidence of it in the earth. But these devils, they know about this. They see it and still rebel. They still proud.
The scripture go to, I used to like go to Esau. He's like a diligent. The book of Sirach actually goes into he's an unwise king that destroys his people. But it also goes to how he does a diligent search. So he did all this type of researches and stuff like this that happened back in the past. He's just being more powerful and still trying to justify his wicked ways and go overboard on Yahweh Bashim Shai.
Real quick. Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
This man was created to do wickedness. That was his purpose in the earth, to be a living example of what happens when you're a wicked person against what the Most High has going in the earth, what he set up,
Right.
and even his end is going to be the judgment that comes for living that wicked lifestyle.
Right.
So, and he can't change. It's in his nature. He was created that way. Now, this is when you can actually say that, though. He actually is perverse. So whatever is not right, whatever is righteous, he's not with it. It's just in his spirit to be anti.
So Ecclesiastes, he's which is crooked cannot be made straight. He's like spiritually customized just to do wickedness, man. He's a vessel of dishonor for a reason.
Right.
That's it.
Peter.
Yeah, get that, Peter.
Start at like verse 4 or verse 5.
You can start at 4.
Okay. This is 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4 says, for if the most high power Yahweh spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a creature of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
Not looking at the receipts, brother.
Yeah.
Not looking at the receipts. Not looking at what happens when you live that lifestyle. And that's part of the witchcraft, the sorcery. They make people believe that there's a prosperous end to this because they paint it in the movies, they put it on TV, and it ends up well. Well, then it hasn't been. You haven't seen this on a long enough timeline to know what's really going to happen to the people.
This second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, woe be unto thee, Assur, thou that hidest the unrighteous in thee, O thou wicked people. Remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clods of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so
Also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith the Almighty Power.
But see, you got people, you got these proud demons talking about the Lord should have. He owes an apology for what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. Hey, because they got the Pope back in this shit, bro.
Yeah,
the Pope back in that.
yeah. The Pope is saying it should be
It's not a sin.
It should be a sin.
It's not a sin.
Yeah, he's saying it's not a sin.
Yeah.
But he's saying that it should be a sin to even
Condemn him.
to condemn it.
Wow.
That's the false prophet.
Yeah,
So
clearly.
you know that got
Yeah, it's gotta go.
Everything
that gotta go up in
Yeah,
smoke.
everything in the last days is kind of lining up hand in hand. You know, the church with the debauchery and the wicked shit too. You know.
Money collapse.
Yeah.
Notice how notice this whole woke Christianity movement.
Yeah.
Where they're more tolerant of this behavior.
You got a Jesus ass up.
As a
he what did he say? This shit say he knows us or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see a bunch of Jesus ass on the internet all over. You know.
Back in the movie.
Yeah, back in you know.
Yeah,
You got a lot of rat ads out there too.
Oh,
You know, advocating for them.
Right.
I got Romans 1.
Good.
There's Romans 1, I'll start here at 24. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Every time I read that, when I first heard that, it stuck. When I thought he allowed them to be tempted away from the right way. So he allowed them to walk down. Only walk down that path to see what happens. You want to go play with the dog? That I told you that dog bite. You want to go see what that dog bite or not? Go down there and play with that dog. So he gave them up to that type of lifestyle. Now we're starting to see, but we ain't really fully seen it, but we're starting to see how people believe that it's going to end up well. We're going to see how this ends.
25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
We can't slide past that, change the truth of the Most High to a lie. The truth is, he can't say shit, man. You know what I mean?
Male and female, he created them.
Yeah,
Created
you know.
them.
Man, you can't say that. Be fruitful.
You get put out of
multiply.
class at school just for quoting it.
Man, everybody know it's basic.
CPS coming to get you.
Bro, and it's in every life, you know.
Yeah.
You look at science, you got positive and negative.
Yeah.
You look at engineering or construction, you got the male part and the female part.
Yeah.
You look at something as simple as an outlet, you got an outlet and a plug.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have a plug and plug.
Yeah.
Electricity runs through the outlet because it's a plug in it.
Right.
You know, you go through everything.
So that's why
The whole
this
world.
place is full of confusion. That's what it's called
Exactly.
Babylon.
Yeah.
It's destructive. It's not productive.
Exactly.
The scriptures say the Most High made nothing imperfect.
Yep.
But what is this devil doing?
With this scripture,
Isaiah 29.
yeah, 29,
Yeah, it's the spirit because on my way I was listening to GMS Chicago and they was speaking about the exact same topic, bro. And, Elder Malcolm, he had quoted something. He was like, he was listening to somebody and they said, man, if you fast forward 1,000 years and you dig up all our bodies, they're gonna find two genders. They're gonna find male and they're gonna find female. No matter what you call yourself.
Yep.
There was another video where somebody was pretty much, and he was using logic. Like you put put 3 men and 100 women on a island, they're gonna grow to become a nation. Put 100 trans people and 3 men. You're gonna get 103 graves. That's just how. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, they're challenging 2 plus 2 now.
Yeah.
You know? 2 plus 2 is not 4 anymore. It's 5. Bro.
What are they saying it is?
Say it's 5.
Because that's my truth.
Well,
That's your truth.
That's their math.
Yeah.
You know? That's their math.
Who changed the truth for the most?
And the word math, we know, is the Hebrew word for truth. So then they don't want it. When you said years ago, bro, it was so perfect. You said the new hate speech, truth is the new hate speech.
Yeah.
Bro, that should put that on a t-shirt, bro. That was good. That's what it is.
Terrence Howard saying math is wrong now.
Wow.
That's all that. Math is wrong now.
Yeah.
Definitely lie now.
Yeah.
He was more.
Yeah, this is 26. For this cause, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, buried in their lust one toward another.
You know this is the main scripture. They don't want this in the law.
Yeah,
New Testament, bro.
yeah, come. It says, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves their recompense of their error, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Or the judgment.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things.
That's all you see.
Disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
Right.
And that's
That's the niggas, bro. Oh, as long as it don't affect me. And you have pleasure in those that do that.
And that's why our people gonna catch it first, man.
Yeah, they
Jacob's trouble is very necessary for our people, man, because a lot of you know right, you have a conscience and you know what should and shouldn't be happening on the earth, but you see other people doing it and you went along with it. That was Jake's main problem in the ancient world anyway, in our own land. We saw what the heathen was doing and ran with it. Now we passed overpass is the word you use?
Yeah.
Overpass the deed to the wicked. It didn't sound right what I was thinking. But yeah, overpass the deed to the wicked, man. We go beyond what they do and perfect they BS.
Yeah.
Jake can scare you how when they switch it up, they
They could be the biggest, bro.
Man, you never know.
Long ass nails.
Like we saw he's a Mo by nature.
Yeah.
But Jake be a flaming, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, going to about that violent affection, that's why Jake get caught to those diseases.
Yeah.
Even before it was called AIDS, it was called GRID, gay-related immune deficiency. So they changed it to AIDS.
What was it?
Gay-related immune deficiency.
Yeah.
You know, going to those violent affections, the Lord gave it to them. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
They end up receiving the recompense of their error that was me.
Yeah,
right.
You get them diseases, man.
I appreciate that. There's Isaiah 5:20, and it reads, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Mm-hmm. But all these people, they're under the vibration in the witchcraft of evil. You know, it tells you that, you know, he would come with the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. And because of those things, it's going to be a great deceivableness. You know, people are going to be blinded. They're going to be, because they're under total mind control and manipulation every day. Listen to the school teachers, listening to mainstream media, listening to their favorite artists, your doctor, all these witches and warlocks that they gotta listen to and they get influenced by is the reason why that the deceivableness is eating these people up. They buy right into it, give their children over to it. You pretty much sacrifice your child when you give them over to the school system and to mainstream media. All right, Hollywood.
It used to be just like Hollywood. Now, like you said, it's the school system.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm gonna read it since I'm there. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9 says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right, he has the power of media.
Yeah.
That's where he does most of his mind trickery.
Yeah.
The television.
Hey, like we say that the YouTube, the internet did the heavy lifting for the truth.
Yeah.
It
The heavy lifting for
did
wicked.
the heavy lifting for wicked. Yeah.
Yes.
Spread it, man, the same way. That was the balance of it.
He's training the young generation up to be anti-messiahs, a bunch of little Satanists. Sneaking this agenda into the cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, two cartoon male characters. They're both of them are two dads raising a kid.
Wasn't the new Buzz Lightyear was more wicked?
I think so.
I think. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's just coming out. All those characters we grew up watching, they all are coming out all of a sudden. You know?
Yeah, from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
That's the one in the orange.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, man.
That's part of the enchantment. Stand out with thine enchantments, man. You know?
And these people are so foolish and just silly, bro. I always related to her when I was younger. Bro, no, you didn't, bro.
Yeah.
You're just a cartoon character.
This is a nerd girl.
That's it.
Hey, even Ashley on a new Bel Air series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all really have to do that? And she 12 years old.
Bro,
She ain't getting rebuked for it, nothing.
the Black Lightning, bro.
Black Lightning,
You
yeah.
give Jake super spiritual power and shit. Hey, and the daughter don't even want to reproduce, man. She's dealing with another woman.
Wickedness.
Yeah.
Bro.
Power just came out talking about, oh, I never felt straight enough. I never felt gay enough. Man, shut your ass.
People to be saying shit now, man, because they felt a certain way.
Niggas just want to belong or something, you know.
Yeah.
They want to be
Heard.
yeah, that part.
Where your feelings are demons.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, and thank you.
Yeah, the art is deceitful, desperately wicked.
Who could know it?
Verse 10, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Yep.
Yeah.
He used all them key words in that.
Yep.
Because that Epicurean spirit is what makes a lot of people lean into that agenda, you know, lean into that vibration.
And real quick, I looked up strong delusion in the Greek. The word for strong in the Greek is energia, and it says efficiency, energy, operation. And when you go to a delusion, the Greek word is plane, and it says a wandering, a straying about, one led astray from the right way.
Yep.
Metaphorically, mental strain. When you put it together, man, that's pretty much like when Esau runs psyops.
Yeah.
He's putting people under strong delusion,
Yep.
mind programming, mind
Mental
control,
strain. Yep.
mental strain.
Powerful mental strain. Yeah.
So he's been doing that with all this influence through the media, through these
Just
celebrities,
little commercials,
the
certain little
ads.
something, just
That's it.
little house
That's
music back, just little shit.
Hey, they gonna do the same kind of witchcraft. We see them using the same type of witchcraft for the MOTB.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You know, like put little shit here and there.
Yeah.
Open your car with the, you know what I mean? They just throw the shit out there, but
It's all like CIA, you know, operations. It's basically a CIA operation. You know,
Yeah.
they're the ones carrying out. They control news channels. They control it all, man.
Right.
It also goes into the mental illness, which is just another demon. Because even he deemed it as a mental illness up until 1974.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So if you're wicked, if you're a reprobate, the Lord gives you over to that.
Yeah.
All right. So this Satan, he through what this devil got going, he's able to operate on your mind, pretty much to keep you in that reprobate energy until the Lord disposes you.
Okay.
All right. So a lot of people that's in that mindset, they're given over to that until the day of judgment.
Right.
The ones who's going to repent from that are the elect, who the Lord's going to clean up and remove them, get them up out of this. They're going to come up out of this this wicked way.
Only the Lord can pull you out of that.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 7, verse 24. It says, "Hearken unto me now, therefore, all ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. For she had cast down many wounded, yet many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death." And we usually, with this is like other philosophies and other stuff, but it's talking about a woman too. And America is that it's a woman.
Yeah.
And her ways, her paths,
way to lead it into the grave. Destruction. Yeah.
Destruction.
Back to that Michael T was talking about. We mentioned earlier.
Rise ye depart.
It will pollute you with sword destruction.
That's it. This place is being proud against the Most High. All it does is to teach you to just, rebel against the Most High. All right. No, righteous, good is the new evil.
Yeah.
Evil is the new good.
Was it Vampire and Brooklyn?
Yeah. Evil.
Therefore, if it's necessary, evil must be good.
Right. So that's why the Lord, he left Sodom and Gomorrah as that example. So now you want to be proud and you know what the Lord did, you know the history, and you still want to behave in that way. Well, hey, you're moving in that same direction. You're getting ready to receive the same judgment, but it's actually going to be worse. All right, the Lord's going to make, and that's why it tells you in Jeremiah when it talks about how the Lord's going to deliver us out of the land of the north. He basically said it will be no more said, "The Lord liveth that bring up the children of Israel out of Egypt." We know what the Lord did to Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north. Because what the Lord's going to do to this place is going to be far greater, man, than all those kingdoms that he judged before. And he's going to get us up out of the way before he do it. That's what's going to be so miraculous and spectacular about it. All right, the Lord's going to basically, remove his elect and put them in a safe place, put them in his pavilion, and then he's going to just do what he's going to do to this place. And we never got a chance to look up Sodom. We never looked up the words for the word Sodom in the blue letter.
Conflagration.
No, look up Sodom first, but also, you can get that in the blue.
Sodom. This
the word Sodom in the blue letter. It says in the Greek, Sodoma. It says burning.
Burning. That's what it means. So that was a omen,
bro.
Besides these people burning their lust, sexual immorality.
Yeah. That was it.
It's more, it says a city destroyed by the Lord, raining fire and brimstone on it. That's it.
You go down to the Chaldee lexicon. What does it say?
It says Sodom, a city respecting the location and the destruction of which sea.
I got it. You said the lexicon.
Yes, it's burning.
Oh yeah.
Conflagration.
Conflagration.
It's being built on a bituminous soil, and perhaps on this account liable to frequent fires.
Bituminous coal is
Bituminous.
it's a coal or black coal is a type of coal containing a tar-like substance called bitumen or asphalt.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised in California with all the brush fire, with all the witchcraft and shit going on there. You know, that has something to do with that place.
Yeah.
Oh, it says Sodom, which appear to have been degenerate, compare as to the apples Sodom, furnish an image of a degenerate condition. Sodom mean unjust judges of corrupt morals.
That's this place all the way.
Woman Norman at Revelation 11, chapter 8 verse.
Yeah. So somebody look up that term conflagration.
I got it. Conflagration. It says, and this is the Oxford Google definition, right? It says an extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land or property. Used in a sentence, it says tender, dry conditions spark fears of a conflagration in many drought-devastated communities. Now here's the fun part, if you will. Matter of fact, the origin of it real quick, then I'll jump up to some of the synonyms. It says conflagare, to blaze, or we know con is also with, but it says from Latin conflagare, from con expressing extensive force, and flagare to blaze. Yeah. Now when you go into these synonyms, the words fire, blaze, flames, inferno, firestorm, and holocaust. So I clicked on holocaust. Look at this thing. You clicked on it?
All right, go ahead.
Destruction or slaughter on a mass scale, especially caused by fire or nuclear war.
Come on, man.
It was good to use that word.
Yeah.
Some super code.
Yeah. And that's so America's gonna undergo the true, and I'm gonna just the H word.
Yeah.
All right. What other instrument is gonna cause that? All right. That's why every time the prophecies speak of the destruction of this place, it compares it with the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Ooh, hold on. It's lucky, bro. I went to the full definition. That was just a quick definition.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta skip the one that is in
Yeah.
the history, you know. I gotta skip that one. But this one is a historical one. It says a sacrifice in which the offering was burned completely on an altar.
Yeah.
Oh, Isaiah 34.
I'm right there, bro.
Yeah.
Texas spirit, bro.
Go ahead.
That's what they be.
I looked up, I went a little bit further into that by however you say it, bituminous coal or by, I think it's, but it goes into a root word called bitumen, which it says any of various mixtures of hydrocarbons such as tar, often together with their non-metallic derivatives that occur naturally or are obtained after residues after heat refining natural substance. So basically after they're set on fire. So they're fuel for the fire, right?
Yep.
And then when you go deeper into it, when you go into the world history, and the etymology of it, it says the mineral pitch, right? And we understand what that pitch is, basically that fuel for the fire. And it's Isaiah 34 and 8.
And that pitch is almost like an accelerant.
Yeah, kind of. It says,
Natural accelerant. Yeah.
for it is the day of the Lord's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Yeah, it is.
Look what this one's saying, Isaiah.
And if you would have read up, it's talking about how Idumea is going to be that sacrifice on that altar, man.
Yep.
So it's going to be a Idumean Holocaust.
Yeah.
That's what America is going to be,
Yep.
and the Holy Land too.
Yep.
But we know that that's gonna, once that died, the smoke die down there, that's gonna get rebuilt.
Everything.
This place here
Yeah.
is never gonna return.
I got Isaiah 19. But I went to the origin of the word Holocaust, right? It says the Greek word is kalim, or something like that. It says burn, but then it goes down to kostos, which holos means whole, and kostos burn, whole burn, right? Yeah, that's words right there. They're both Greek. And then it goes to Old French, but it pretty much gets to the word once it gets to French, the actual word. But in Isaiah 13, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there."
No businesses.
Yep.
You got these heathens coming over here building businesses and taking the dollar bills and back to their home country. None of that going on with the missiles.
That's why the Lord gave the forewarning in Jeremiah, for our sins that reached unto the skies. All of you basically flee Babylon and go return to your own country so that you don't get caught up in her iniquity.
And from what you was even saying, if you even think about when King David was coming over here and getting goods and different things, right? You can come over here and get things and then trade it or bring it back and use it wherever you're from. There's not going to be anything over here worth anything to come over here from. There's no reason to come here but to remember the bitter captivity of the Israelites over here, and the last memory of the Edomites.
It's just gonna be a memorial.
Yep. For you to remember. Yep. It says, "But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there."
Like Sodom and Gomorrah today.
Yeah.
It's just ash, sulfur. Just like pillars and
can't be inhabited.
Yeah.
You can't grow any crops there or plant any trees.
Yes, I'm saying it. So
you still have Lot's wife.
Come over.
The pillar of Lot's wife up on that hill.
Yeah, I've seen documentaries on that place, and there's like you can still see like remains of that there was once there cities and a civilization,
When it
structures, building structures, but it's covered in ash and
all melted
and
ash.
sulfur. And this place is so inflammable,
right?
Just with all the toxins and the flammables, the gases, the oil reserves.
And you see what happens as soon as they try to burn the chemicals that's spilled in the water over there in the Midwest. And it's been spills everywhere pretty much, but what happened? It made it even more toxic by burning it. So it just shows you this place on every level. When it's burned, it ain't gonna be nothing here, man. Nothing that's life inhabited over here.
Right.
Just only, like it's about to say, all of these undesirable creatures, really.
Right.
The lieutenants of America, huh?
Right.
When we go into the etymology of the word conflagration, it said the burning of a large mass of combustibles.
Yep, that pit, yeah. It says, "But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and," I don't really speak this word weird, satyrs, shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Yeah. Precept to that, Revelation 18 and 1, it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Let's clear it up. That doesn't mean the Edomites are gonna live here.
I got
And
Christians
you know, people could, with the wrong breakdown out there, you could have that. People were thinking, you know, that was once the old breakdown too.
Yeah.
The Edomites lived here, and then it's the devil shall dwell there. What was the other thing? Every foul spirit, all the wicked gonna be over here, and it ties you right into that lake of fire, burning forever, eternity. That's not what this
Then
is.
they try to tie it into hell.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But that's not what this is. This is just talking about those deadly creatures, those
fowls.
Yeah.
those animals.
And you look at it's a desert down in Chile. It's like I want to say it's the driest desert on the planet, and only thing that can survive there are
So,
like those type of animals.
The lizards.
Yeah, the lizards.
No, I was gonna say Komodo dragon.
But it's like a certain type of lizards that can only survive there.
yeah.
And it's like I'm gonna look it up, the name of the desert, you know, tell brothers. But I saw a documentary. It's super dry. Like they get rain, probably like damn near never.
Yeah, you probably end up having like storks and herons and ravens and
But the Lord
great owls.
said, the Lord said He was going to give the fowls of the air the feast. Feast on the corpses in this place.
But yeah,
Bring it up.
yeah, go ahead.
As I was a preaching to what you read, is Baruch chapter 4, and I'll start at 30. It says, "Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflict thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time."
Ooh, good one. Good one.
What was that?
Baruch 4.
Is Jeremiah 50 and 39. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt there from generation to generation, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord. So shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And you got the Russians and all the different countries that's aligning themselves with Russia right now, and they all got the nuclear capabilities. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Yeah. And that's talking about the missiles, those nukes. All right. They all gonna shoot on this place. All right.
One more, brother.
Yep.
Isaiah 66. Let me see. I'll start up at 14. It says, "And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, your bones shall flourish like an herb." Because above was talking about that we would be comforted by the same thing that's going to destroy these places. Right? It says, "And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies." It says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Yeah, that's the chariots, man. Shooting out the lasers. But you gonna have that too. This is gonna be just as powerful, as the nuclear destruction, man.
So that's just more fire.
Yeah.
More fire. It's gonna bring more fire to you people, man. More conflagration. I always say it's gonna be an automatic cremation. All right. The Lord's gonna use like an example, and the world's gonna fear. They're gonna fear, man. It's gonna be a day to never forget. And the righteous are gonna they're gonna have first-hand seats. They're gonna have seats right at the front window seats. They're gonna watch this event happen, man. Okay, you read Psalms the 91st chapter. That's what that's going into. You're gonna see people fall at their left and at their right, just looking down from a bird's eye view, an aerial view, and you're gonna see Babylon getting ignited. All you're gonna see is dark black smoke and flickering orange. It's gonna be very devastating, man. That day is great and terrible. And guess what? It's gonna be warranted. You have enough sins to ignite this place up.
200,000 missiles, man.
Yeah.
For this place. So.
Yeah.
But apparently it ain't enough because we still here. But it's getting to that point where it's going to reach a level where the Most High will be like, all right, that's enough.
Well, yeah, well, through measuring the time diligently, that time will be, RFID micro CDIP being made mandatory. World War III, that's in full effect. That's when you know that's the end.
Yeah, we don't, we say it, but think about what life in America or the Western world would be like when the chip is being implemented, when World War III is at its height. Imagine the pride on the earth in that moment,
It's going to be kind of a combination of pride and,
perverseness.
People are going to be catching hell too, during that time because the saith going to come as almost like a savior to some of these people. Yeah. So people going to be down and out too.
So when you take that saith, you take that saith, man, that conflagration is coming for you.
They're gonna be proud because this is that step towards transhumanism. When they finally get the device into them, they're gonna feel like they're advanced.
Yeah, they can live forever.
Yeah, I can open my car door. I can go and buy shit with my hand.
So it's like telepathy.
I got sharp memory now.
And why they're going to be prideful? Because they got it and the other ones don't.
They're gonna be prideful with a grievous sword.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, I got the
diseased up, fucking shit.
And they're gonna be looking down on everyone that didn't take it.
Exactly.
Look, we saw that just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There was a little precursor to it. We just seen it.
Niggas, I got two. And I got the boost.
I get all of them. All the boosts, everything.
Something stroke next week and shit.
Yeah.
That's the time, though, brother.
This is Proverbs 18:12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. So these people gonna be proud until that day finally happens, man. This place it's gonna get destroyed, and we have to prophesy that, man, as the watchman of the Lord. All right, the Lord is, he's about the second death is about ready, man. All right, you and 2/3 of our people, man. Hey, see you on the other side, man. So long, man.
Love you then.
Yeah. All right. So man. We just want to go into that. Lord willing, you brothers and you few sisters were edified, and Salakia, we didn't get to pull your precepts. Y'all was hitting them. The water. Hey, let's just continue to focus, man. Continue to push, endure. All right, continue to be charitable. fear the Most High, pray for mercy. All right, and hey, Lord willing, we all make it, man. All right, so with that, we're gonna give all praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash.
the bunch to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and citation to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect. We're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.